One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. To let me be free. One day I'm gonna be free. Mentally and physically, emotionally and spiritually. Yeah. One day I'm gonna be free. I'm standing at the crossroads. I'm feeling like a lost soul. Don't know where I wanna go, but all I know is I wanna be free. They telling me to let it be, but that just ain't in me, no. Jealousy and envy, but all I see is I wanna be free. See everything I wanna be, exactly what I'm gonna be. Don't let it get the most of me. Eventually, I'm gonna be free. See everything I wanna be, exactly what I'm gonna be. Yeah. One day I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna be free. Let me be free. One day I'm gonna be mentally and physically, emotionally and spiritually. Yeah. One day I'm gonna be free. I told them take their aim off me. Stop trying to get a name off me. If they would just let me be, I'm gonna be free. I told them take them chains off me and throw away the locks and keys. If they would just let me be, eventually I'm gonna be free.
We need to talk, man.
Man, I thought I told you never to come here unannounced.
Man, we got two problems, man.
What's the problem?
One problem, you need to stop buying these lemons, and two, the feds is watching. We need to get some more calls.
All right. Tara, move the meetings back a couple hours. Let me change this right quick. And give old boy a call from Auto Image. Tell him we on our way.
I just want to let you know when I got done with this business, I'll be over there. But let me handle this first, all right?
It ain't a Cadillac or Maybach, but it'll do. Come on, boss, man. Moving all store and shit, man.
What I tell you about that goddamn speeding?
You need to get you some goddamn license.
You need to get some goddamn sense. One more goddamn time, bro. Better be lucky you my fucking nephew. One more motherfucking time.
You need to do something better with your life and stuff. Worry about it. Just say that man here. You about to
Fuck
give
off
him your
me,
damn
man.
money, man. You tripping, man.
Hey, my man.
You show that man work for Carlisle. Look like he works for Foot Locker.
Hey, Bobby. Take care, man.
Yes, sir.
You already know what they came for. Show them around.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, boss. Welcome. We have everything you need, from Cadillac, Lexus, Rover. You like a man with great taste. What will satisfy you tonight?
I'm just trying to disappear in style.
Thank you. You've come to the right spot. Let me show you some things here. Now, this here, I can say
Hey,
this here.
man, I don't think you
Lexus.
should trust that nigga, man. They look like he sells
Big
shoes,
box
man,
today.
like he work at Foot Locker.
Yeah, Lexus
Just
Rover.
saying.
Get these two. One in the front. Give me that one behind it.
Great deal.
doing, nephew?
Man, you ain't find nothing you like, did you?
Yeah, we got something. We got something.
I'm telling you, man, you can't be getting none of that.
Watch the speed.
Man, god damn, man. I'm out here in my lemon pepper steppers in the Genesis, and he out here trying to buy a lemon, man. I don't know what you got going on. Next time, make sure you take me to the Cadillac and Maybachs where they got them at.
Shit.
What up, though? What up, though? 7 days, we back again for another episode of Dominant Effect. March Bishop, we got Mike Ball, Aaron Olinger. What up, everybody? Glad everybody tuned in today. We got another exciting story that we're going to pass out. Don't forget during this time to like, follow, hit that like button, follow, share, subscribe, pass this on so that way people can get their eyes on this and their ears on this, because this is some of the stuff we're talking about tonight is going to be real important for a lot of people. But before we jump into the story, like always, we check and see how everybody's doing for the week. So we'll start with Aaron. What up, brother? How was your week?
Oh, it's been great, man. Got a gun show this coming weekend in Hamilton at the Butler County Fairgrounds, and I'm just looking forward to getting in there and getting out of slow period. November heading toward the holidays is the turnaround period, plus hunting season starts this month, so I'm pretty sure we'll get a lot of business in there this weekend, hopefully anyway.
What's up with you, Mike?
Yeah, man. It was pretty cool actually. I was dealing with Aaron for the last, week or so and trying to create like a perfect bug out bag situation for me. And we've done it, and it'll be here tomorrow, which I'm super excited about. But it's just another example of not only me telling you guys every week, like, hey, you guys got to get ready, get prepared. Like, I'm doing it myself. You know what I mean? Like, I can't sit there and preach, go do this, go do that, if I'm not even doing it myself. So I definitely am going to be prepared for the moment.
Good deal. Good deal. I figured it was going to rub off on you eventually.
Oh yeah. Didn't take too long, but I had to bite the bullet on doing it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, this week has been it's been something. Every day has been it's been a little something. When I first got on here tonight, when I told you I thought tonight was a full moon, because it's like all kind of crazy shit just going on today. But it is what it is. But yeah, that little snippet that we started out the show with, that was something that I was going to bring up last week, and we couldn't get it loaded on here. But that's actually it started out being a product placement, and then they ended up going to use it for something else. But
oh wow, I was about to say, like, I saw everyone in the chat like, oh dude, this is going to be a rad movie. I'm like, this is a product placement. That's how amazing the production is.
Right.
And then I'm sure someone saw your guys' not only the script of what you guys do, but how you guys all interacted, and it seemed so genuine. I'm sure that directors and shit look at that and go, we're grabbing this,
Right.
That's awesome.
So we end up sending that out, and then they end up getting back to it. One won't actually use that for something else. So so everything's been kind of working out, man. We've been trying to get this new one started. We was hoping it was going to get started this week, but I think it ended up getting pushed back another week. So we should be, hopefully we'll be starting on this next week. But everything's going good though. Everything's going good. Even with the little setbacks, we're still keeping positive about it, keeping it going. So everything's going well.
Good.
So we're gonna jump in this tonight, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk about tonight. Everybody done heard about it, and talked about it, and had conversations about it, and I figured it was fitting for us to dive into it, because it's a little bit more to it than what's being told. So I'm gonna hit it like this. Kind of picture in a couple of days, November 1st. And on November 1st, everybody knows that that your SNAP benefits not going to work for the month of November. So you have the government shutdown, you have these funds being frozen, and families across America can't buy food. But what if it's not just another bureaucratic delay, but a setup for something else much bigger? In other countries, we've been hearing about a lot of things dealing with this digital system and who decides who eats and who doesn't. So today on the Domino Effect, we're going to dive into this government shutdown, the food assistance, the snaps, and the rise also of this digital ID. And is it, or could it be a part of the shift towards total financial or total social? So we're going to break it down tonight. So we're going to, so like I said, everybody's been talking about this, and there's various opinions that's been going around, for both sides. From the last estimate that I seen, that it was over 42 million people that's on SNAP assistance,
Mm-hmm.
that will not be getting a charge on their card this month. And you've seen numerous TikTok videos and Facebook videos talking about how people are they're gonna run and flood the stores and just take what they want to take. And then there was reports about Walmart and several other stores talking about how they were just gonna close the doors and just do online orders and wasn't gonna let nobody in stores. And some people said that wasn't true, but I've seen some stuff saying that it was true, that they were going to do that because they just wasn't going to deal with having people just going in there and just storming the store and just taking shit. But we're going to dig down into it and see the kind of get a grasp of everything, and then bring it over to what's going on with not just this, but the other stuff in combination, because there's, as we've seemed to be finding out, a lot of this stuff has been kind of connect the dots. And it seems like a lot of these stories that we've been doing, you kind of connect the dots to it, and it all kind of, everything seems to connect one way or the other. That wasn't something that I had actually set up when I was coming up with these stories. I wasn't looking for it to connect the dots, but it is. So, so we're going to start with I'm gonna kind of give like a basic explanation, and then Aaron, I'll let you jump in because I know you got some photos and stuff, and we got some video and stuff too that we're gonna throw into it as well. But so we're gonna just start with the human scale of this. So SNAP in this country is the largest nutrition assistance program in America. The fiscal 2024 served roughly 42.7 million people on average each month. That's about 12% of this population.
Man, that's a lot.
Right. And the SNAP payments are loaded to this electronic transfer EBT card monthly. So the USDA administrators of this program and the authority funds, if federal appropriations lapse and the contingency funds aren't tapped, then the states may or may not be able to receive federal reimbursement in time to load these November benefits. So the report on the current event, in the current shutdown, the USDA announced that the November SNAP benefits would not be issued, and the shutdown continues with this contingency / emergency fund that they keep talking about is not going to be used, and putting benefits at risk for millions of Americans. Now, what's I would say the immediate drawback to this? So you got these households, and the households rely on SNAP, including many with children, elderly, disabled people. They all have their own shortfalls. Um, and a lot of this within days and weeks is gonna be a little drastic, especially being you have some people that gets it as like a supplement to, like, if they're working but they're only getting just a little bit to kind of supplement to buy food. But then you have some that just depend on it all the way around. Those are the ones that is really gonna hurt the most. So you got the local food banks and these pantries, so they're gonna see massive spikes in demand. You got grocery stores, you're gonna have the food insecurities in these neighborhoods, and you're gonna see sales drop because they're gonna have to reduce the inventory because they're not gonna be able to keep as much stuff inside the store as the demand. So that whole supply demand thing is gonna be messed up.
Yep.
Now I was there. Me and you was talking the other day, Aaron, and you was telling me about when you was at Walmart, and then I happened to have to go to Walmart when we was on the phone, and it was crazy because when I walked in, well, let me go back. When I pulled in, I had to pull like you did, Aaron. I had to go way down at the end and park and walk
Yeah.
up because there was so many cars there. And when I walked in, it was like jam packed. And I walked in on the grocery side, jam packed. People had buggies filled up. They had, everything: toilet paper, canned food. I mean, it was just crazy about the amount of food that people had in these carts. But I wasn't going for food. I was going back to the electronic area. Now, by the time I passed where the food and stuff wasn't a soul nowhere else in the store. The whole rest of Walmart, you could walk around and do whatever the hell you wanted to do.
Damn.
Sold back there.
Empty.
Everybody was where the food was.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. I mean, and there were so many people there, like they were literally bumping into each other, and people was like getting pissed off because they were bumping into each other and whatever. But it was just in the food area. Like once you walk past the food area, nothing. You may have seen one or two people just kind of walking around, just getting, just random little miscellaneous things or whatever. Everybody was in the food aisle.
So they're prepping because they know what's about to happen.
Right. And then I had seen another report just today saying that if you still had money on your EBT card as of now, thinking that you was going to hold on to it and kind of use it to sustain you through the month, they're telling you to go ahead and use it by the 31st, because there is no guarantee that you'll be able to use it come the 1st. So if you do have surplus on your card and you're thinking that you're going to use that to kind of stretch it out through the month of November, you better go on and use it because you may not have it.
Really? I thought it was just going to be what goes into their account for SNAP. I didn't think it was going to be like, okay, if you have a surplus, which a lot of families do, that would be terrible. I would think that it should still work during the time as long as it's not being funded, right?
You would think that. But like I said, the report I seen this morning, they were telling people that there is no guarantee come the 1st that you will be able to use that card. So if you had any surplus on that card, go ahead and use it.
Damn.
Because there's no guarantee. You may be able to, you may not. It's just a chance you're going to take. So you might as well go ahead and get all you can get now and know that you have it, as opposed to holding on to it and then try
and
to
wishing you had it, right?
Right, and not have it at all. So a lot of here in the past couple of days, you've heard them talk about this contingency fund. And this fund is basically used, it's like an emergency fund that can be used for any situation dealing with USDA. Kind of like a bailout, you know what I mean? So You hit an emergency situation, you can be able to pull that money to be able to use. But they're not going to be able to use this. And the reason why is because they don't have enough money into it to use it. They were saying that the estimated reserve that they have in that fund right now is anywhere between 5 to 6 billion. Is what they have in there. But to fully take care of everybody that's on SNAP, they would need anywhere between 8 to 9 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So being the fact that they don't have 8 and 9 billion in it, they're not going to use it at all. So that just they just shut it down. So it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt some people. You know what I mean? And then you would think, well, okay, well, why couldn't they use this and then the states pick up the remainder for the month to be able to help everybody? But a lot of these states don't have the funds as well to be able to pick up that extra load.
Yeah, there's only a few states that are actually on a surplus rather than a deficit, for sure.
Yeah, so they're gonna so they don't have it either. You know what I mean? So their best bet was to just shut it down for the month. And hopefully, you can get these people in DC that's actually still making money, still getting checks, to sit in the damn room and get this resolved. But I'm gonna hit you, Aaron. Go ahead with what you wanted to bring up.
Okay.
I don't want to go too far off from what we was
Right. Well, like you said, SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Plan. 42 million are going to lose benefits. That's 1 out of every 8 people is currently receiving that. It is a federal program that provides people that's low income with financial assistance to buy food. It was originally created in 1964 under President Lyndon Johnson. It was originally called the Food Stamp Program, but later it adapted the name SNAP, and it's designed to help people maintain adequate health and nutrition. Now, like you said, payments don't go out. Who's going to be affected? All retail stores is going to feel the impact of this. You got a lot of restaurants that's going to be affected. Like you said earlier, the food banks are going to be overwhelmed. I mean, I was at a food bank this past Monday at a church in my area, and the line was longer than I've seen it. And I realized that there were a lot of government employees that was in that line this time that extended that line out. And the line was so long, and I looked at what they had available to give out, and I'm like, well, I'm number 6 in line. So I know I'm going to get something, but the people in the last third of that line might get up there and not get anything. And then, all the local economies are going to be heavily affected. But like you said, there's people out here that are making open threats, how they're going to steal the Walmarts, they're going to swarm attack areas, they're going to jack people in the parking lot for the grocery carts. People are going to be sorry because they're going to do this or that. To me, and I have to say it, I have to slam them on this show today. That's the stupidest stuff I've ever heard of in my life. One, Walmart did not cause you to, or any store of that nature did not cause you to lose your benefits. So why are you going to attack them and bring problems to them? And if you loot them too bad, then they're going to shut down and move out of your area. Now you got to go a long ways just to go to a store, all because you couldn't act in a civil manner. All these people are making these videos, and there's thousands of them out there. One, whether they know it or not, if you incite a riot, you can have your benefits suspended. I don't know if you know that or not, people. If you go out and you steal after making one of them videos, you can have your benefits suspended permanently.
Shit, you do that as an illegal, you get deported.
Right. Now, whether you realize it or not, where you're talking about jacking people for their carts and stuff, or you're going to start robbing people, it's the taxes from people working their asses off that pays for you to be able to sit at home and draw those benefits. And you're going to go out and attack them. I mean, that's attacking the spoon that feeds you, basically. That's ridiculous. And I think there's a bunch of dumb butts that they're doing that, because if you're talking about stealing and rioting, the police have something they say to you, which is your rights. And one sentence of those rights is, whatever you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Now, you go out and you incite a riot, or you go out and you commit crimes after making one of them videos, and then you got to go before a judge or a jury, and they play the video that you showed. Man, if I'm sitting on that jury, you're going to do some prison time. That's stupid that you would make such a video and then go out there and get caught. And then your whole reason to justify it is, my kids ain't going to go hungry. Okay, well, call me a stupid old fool, okay? But tell me this, you go out there and you get arrested, who's going to take care of your kids? If you don't have money to buy food, who's going to bail you out of jail? Who's going to pay for you an attorney? And like I said, if you go to jail, who's going to take care of your kids and feed your kids and clothe them? Let's use our brains for more than just a hat rack here. You clearly are not thinking the situation through clearly. And there's a lesson to be learned here. I mean, whether this goes down or not this weekend, if they on Fridays do an all-night session and have a deal come Saturday morning, there's a lesson to be learned here. And that is to budget and save your money. Build you a food pantry that's got food, water, over-the-counter meds in it. Don't rely on a system that can pull the rug out from under you anytime they get ready. Have a backup plan. And if you got that backup plan, I'm going to give you one right now. If you guys can put on photo 1 for me, please.
I got you.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay, what I want you to see in my area, that's city of Dayton. Those are the food pantries that are open that you can go to. And as you can see, they start on Monday, they end on Sunday. There's multiple locations each day. All you have to do is put in the energy to get up out of bed and go to the pantry. They're going to give you between $50 to $120 worth of free food. And let's say you're getting $800 in food stamps. Okay, you go to about 4 pantries, they're going to give you that much. And then you can leave from one and you can go to another. It's that simple. If they take away your food, your SNAP benefits, get in line at the food pantries. You don't have to do no criminal crap. Just get in line, go tour them. And then, Mike, if you don't mind, put on picture number 3, please.
Got it.
If you're going to build you a food pantry, here's a detailed list of foods that you should be stocking, that you can make multiple meals, or you can put in combination with each other to make cheap, inexpensive meals that you can get by on. And again, you don't have to do anything criminal. You don't have to attack innocent people or swarm attack innocent stores. Just think the situation through clearly, plan and strategize. Like I said, use your head for more than just a hat rack. All these people making these threats, it's stupid. And if you go before a jury and you make a video and they play that, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. And you better know that that's going down. But let's say worst case scenario happens. People go crazy this weekend. We have civil unrest. Mike, if you don't mind, put on picture number 2, please. This is a plan right here of what you should be doing. If it stops, make sure you got a pantry stocked up prior to this weekend. Okay? When you go to the grocery store, don't go alone. Have your man or some people go with you. 2 or 3 people can go shopping together. They can carpool. They can protect one another. If your man or somebody comes with you, they could come in, or they could stay out in the parking lot. When you get ready to come out, text them, I'm getting ready to come outside now, and they can pull up to the door. Because if Walmart locks their doors, the only place that they can do any robbing is the people that are outside waiting to pick up their food. If you have someone there that can come up to the door and get those groceries and stuff, that's backing you up. And I do say take some protection with you. This is essential for the people that don't want to play victim to these people that don't have no sense. So use your head, plan ahead, strategize, work together, get out ahead of these people and their rude plans of trying to harm people just because they're not going to get their money. Now, for those that are out there that actually have mental or physical limitations that cannot work, I'm not speaking to you. I fully understand your situation. Plus, you're not in position to go out and do criminal acts anyway. I'm talking to the ones that are physically abusing the system, and they have this sense of entitlement that if you don't give them something, they're going to go out and hurt people and hurt stores and everything. Like I said, anything you say can and will be used against you. Keep making those videos, because this new ID stuff that we're getting ready to go into, they're going to be building files on everybody. And those videos go into a file on you, and it will never disappear. It will never be eliminated. It will always be there to be used against you, to show your mentality to any jury, any judge. So keep making those videos, because there's people out there that's stacking that stuff up, and the local police are seeing them and they're saving them too.
Well, that's very true, Aaron. And also, there's people on the internet, obviously, amongst these thousands of videos that you're talking about. People going, well, I just won't rob the store then. I'll just rob individuals. And it's like, okay, fantastic. Now, let me go ahead and explain how this works out. At least if you're doing that to a corporation, you have a better chance of not getting shot. You go ahead and start robbing people like me, you're going to get shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's not, I promise you, that's not a good, solid plan to go down. No. You know, I think getting a job might be a better idea, but.
Right. And right now, you got people under stress. I mean, you had the food stamp issue. You got an acceleration of layoffs that are happening right now. Nestle's is laying off. More government jobs are about to be cut. You got Amazon laying off. You got UPS laying off. And I'm going to tell you, regardless of how good they tell you the economy is, you never have Amazon laying off before Christmas. You never have UPS laying off before Christmas. That's their busiest two times. When both of them are laying off at the same time, that indicates you're in a bad economy. You better be holding on to some money. Then you got the possibility of World War III in Europe and Asia happening. You got money systems in different countries that are starting to collapse. We're living in some exciting times right now, and people better be paying attention or they're going to be playing victim. But I'll stop there.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. You know, I was seeing a thing on Amazon today where it said that between now and the next 8 years, that Amazon was going to be getting rid of over 600,000 jobs. They were basically going full robot. They only going to have people there that can do the programming and be able to fix the machines. That's it. You know what I mean? So unless you are skilled in those two things, you're not going to have a job with Amazon. And you figure that a lot of these places, especially, I was talking to a friend of mine that works for Ford Motor Company, and they, I didn't realize how much they made in there. Man, they make great money in it.
Yep, and they're laying off right this second as we speak.
And it's like, okay, so they're slowly automating all of that stuff. I mean, to where they're going to wean that out, so they don't have to pay those salaries. So they don't have to pay for medical insurance. They don't got to pay 401k. They don't got to pay vacation. None of that. You know what I mean? It's all going to be animated. So when that happens, what do? You know what I mean? Because people getting laid off by the day. You know,
Yeah.
and
Right now it's 130,000 jobs in the last week that have been laid off essentially and planning to.
right.
We have like a humongous list that's laying off thousands at a time right now, which is a scary moment. Now, this is one thing that is an interesting point of history because historically, going into any type of corporate position or something like that was promising. You know, that those were promising times for people to be able to make a lot of good money and have a reliable job that they know that it'll be there tomorrow. Well, right now, it's probably one of the most unsafe times to get involved in big corporations, stuff like that. I mean, we're watching it right now. AI is taking over all of this shit. And unfortunately, people, what's the end of the day's mentality for a business? What's the mission plan? Well, the whole mission is to make money, right? So, and their biggest overhead in any company is employees. So if they can chop that, listen, AI and robots don't have sick days. They don't have children issues or personal problems. They don't have HR departments. They don't have that kind of shit problems. So they're chomping at the bit to replace your ass right now.
Right. And see, and that was one of the things that we had talked about a while ago when they were talking about they were going to bring all this manufacturing and stuff back into the States. I'm like, no, they're not. Like, they'll bring them back, but it's not going to be jobs for you. They're going to make that shit automated. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to sit here and pay you 35 and 40 bucks an hour to do some shit when they can put a robot in there to do it. They're not going to do it. You know what I mean? And with the, if I'm not mistaken, hold on. Did we not do a show one time when I put out, there was a site that you could go on because every company that's planning on doing layoffs, they have to notify the state within 90 days that they're going to be laying off. And
I don't remember that specific list.
One of the shows that we did, I had pulled it up. I forget it right now, but I'll pull it up and I'll put it on the Diamond Effect page on Facebook that you can go there and look. But there's a site that you can go on that will tell you in your state what companies are going to be laying off, how many they're going to be laying off, and what area they're going to be laying off in, because they have to notify the state within 90 days that they're going to do it.
Yeah.
It's crazy because, like I said, it's a lot of this stuff that we've been talking about and we've talked about on older shows, and this is stuff that we're dealing with now. But to jump back on what we was talking about dealing with this SNAP and people, talking about they're going to take people's groceries as they come out the stores and all this other stuff. If you doing this already because of some food stamps, what would you do when shit really do hit the fan? Because this is nothing. This is nothing.
Like as if when our currency, our fiat currency, as soon as that crashes and is worthless, we're going to see some serious issues. You know what I mean?
Right. This is nothing. I mean,
Yeah,
I know back when I was a kid, and I know Aaron too, families had to crunch together and make it work. You know what I mean? And they were real good at taking nothing and make something out of it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Now, these days, yes, you got a lot of people that's dependent. I use that word, dependent on someone else to take care of them as opposed to doing it themselves. Now, there's a lot of different foods that you can get right now that was cheap, that will last. And this is not saying you're not going to have SNAP benefits in December or January or whatever. You know what I mean? You're just not going to have them for November. So what do? Make it stretch. Make it stretch. You know what I mean? People did it back then for years. You know what I mean? For years and years, they had to do it. You know what I mean? Because even back then, when they were actually giving out food stamps, and then they was giving out the actual commodities at that point. You remember them, Aaron?
Yeah.
When they gave out the block cheese and
Cheese, yeah.
the canned meat that just had pork
Mhm.
and just had beef written on the side of it or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People did that. People got that shit and made gourmet meals out of it. They made it work. They worked with what they had. You know what I mean? Now I seen some videos on here where people was talking about, with, you know, I'm not going to work for these benefits. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Well, guess what? You don't need them then. Shit. Obviously, it don't mean that much to you. You know what I mean? If you can't get off the couch and go do your little 15 hours and, you know what I mean, and get your benefits, then obviously you don't want to do it. I mean, that part, I don't have no easy thing to say about that, being the fact that, you know, I work my ass off and I don't get shit from them. Don't ask them for shit. You know what I mean? I ain't never asked them for shit because I ain't never want them to know my business. That's the only reason. You know what I mean? Because it's just too much involved in it. You know what I mean? Now, you know, like people that actually go and do this stuff, man, they want to know everything, every single thing about you. You know what I mean? That they want to know who your firstborn kid is and everything. I ain't trying to go that route with you. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to know that much about my business, especially for no $6 a day. It just ain't worth it to me. I can go out and work. But now I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that people give. I mean, because everybody got their own situations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I am saying that if you going through all this right now and you panicking and you talking about you're going to take somebody's food and all that, I mean, like, number one, who do you think you're just going to run up on, that you're just going to take somebody's food and they're just going to let you do it? You know what I mean? You must want somebody else to raise your kid, because that's what's going to happen if you run up on the right one. Someone else will raise your kids. Is that worth it? No. You know, they've been talking about this for almost a month now, that you may not have benefits in November. They've been talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why was you not being proactive?
That's right.
And getting this stuff ahead of time, just in case it does, it will last.
Because no matter how many times the system fucks you, for some reason people believe in it. I don't know why. They put all their eggs in that. It's really it's sad. Yeah.
You can't. You know what I mean? One of the things, what is it that we say all the time? If you can't hold it, you don't own it.
Right.
That's damn straight fact.
You know, so you can't just sit here and take somebody's word and they say, okay, well, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z, because it may not happen. You gotta be proactive in this, especially if you sitting here and you making these videos and you talking about, you know, I gotta feed my kids, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Okay, well, being the fact that you gotta feed yourself and your kids, then you should have been a little bit more proactive about this and do what you need to do. You know what I mean? To make it work. Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to buy 15 boxes of Gushers and a bunch of bullshit snacks and shit like that. You know what I mean? The kids gonna eat up in 2 days. Right.
Yeah.
Right. The kids gonna eat that shit up in 2 days. You're gonna
Pop-Tarts.
go and get food and make it stretch. You know what I mean? Break it up. You know, buy the hell, I do it now. I go buy like chicken, I'll cut it up, bag it all up.
Yep.
Make meals,
honestly,
you know what I mean?
if I had SNAP right now, I would personally, and let's just say I had some extra in my account or whatever the case is, right now, what I would do with that SNAP benefit, I'd go get a whole bunch of like beans, rice, chicken, exactly like that, and don't spend it on the bullshit, because yeah, that's enticing. It is to every person in the world. Welcome to reality. But going like, hey, we got to go ahead and think long term here. We can't think just 30-day intervals. You know, we have to think longer.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, did you know in some states they just passed to where you're not allowed to buy processed foods with SNAP benefits? So that cuts out a lot of the junk that you was normally going to get. They're not even going to let you buy it now. I mean, so they're putting a lot of their they're stiffening up on what you're able to actually buy with that. In some of these states, it's not everywhere, but it is in some of them. I know Florida is one of them. And I was in the store just last week, and a lady was shopping, and they were sitting there ringing it up, and they was like, they gave her two different amounts. One amount that's the EBT was going to pay for, and the amount that she had to pay out of her pocket. And she was like, "What are you talking about?" They was like, "You're not allowed to buy processed food anymore. You either got to pay for this or you got to put it back." So they're really cracking down on that. So on top of that, I've been seeing some other stuff here too that's been kind of catching my attention, and we've been talking about it here for a couple of weeks, and that's this whole digital ID thing. And I seen something yesterday that they're actually trying to do this in Utah, where they trying to push out this digital ID thing. And it's funny because when I was watching it, listening to the guy talk about it, and he made it sound like it was like this great thing that was going to be able to, keep everything private, and it just proves that you are who you say you are and all this other jazz. Which to me, I think is total bullshit. You know what I mean? We've been going many years proving who you are. I don't need no chip in my hand to prove who I am. But I've also seen one over in the UK. I don't know whether y'all seen it yet, but they put out that they had a time limit as to when everybody had to be chipped. And if you don't get chipped, then you cannot work. I got a little small clip. I'm trying to find it here so I can show it, because I was like, man, ain't no way in hell we can do this. But hold on. I think it's this one right here. Let's play it.
Today, I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
What do you want? Freedom! When do you want it? Now! No digital ID! No digital ID! No surveillance state! No surveillance!
What's your take on it?
Scary fucking times.
Well, I'm gonna say this: anybody that calls themselves a Christian should exactly know what they're looking at right there. And I'm gonna connect a dot real quick, and I'm gonna show you how there's a lot of disinformation out there. Okay, I'm gonna connect a dot with a digital ID and this engineered crisis that we're looking at for this weekend. I'm gonna start off with Walmart. Okay. Walmart makes exactly $3 billion a year off of the SNAP benefits program, which is 25% of the entire program annually. Now, keep in mind, Walmart makes over $674.5 billion a year. So if you subtract $3 billion from $674 billion, that's going to mean that Walmart's going to make $671.5 billion a year. So that $3 billion that they lose is just a drop in the bucket. They won't even miss it. So is this really as big an emergency as they're trying to make it be? Are they putting this disinformation out and floating it around and using AI to get people stirred up? I mean, or are these SNAP benefits actually a distraction that they're getting people emotionally brought up over, so that the powers that be can slip in the new world order, which is your digital ID, your digital currency, and create the ultimate surveillance state right here in the United States? Because the bottom line is, when governments fear the loss of control with their populations, they have to bring forth the digital ID as a measure of control. So Is this just a big distraction to get us worked up? So we're looking over here and not seeing what the powers that be is slipping in on us? Because in Great Britain, they were told 2028 they have to all be have the digital ID. And in the United States right now, they're talking about not making it mandatory, but you don't have to in a situation like that. If you got smart meters in their homes where you can turn their power off, if you've got where they're not chipped, where they cannot clock in at work, they cannot buy gas at a gas station, they cannot walk into a bank to do banking, they cannot buy food at the grocery stores. After a while, they won't have any other choice. And if you let the money system collapse, which forces you into a digital ID, I'm gonna make a quote right here to you that you may have heard, but now you can figure out what it means. And that quote is, out of chaos comes order. And if you didn't hear me, I'm gonna say it again. Out of chaos comes order. They're going to create the problem, then they're going to bring forth the solution, and people are going to go for it because they're not going to have any other choice unless you're just going to sit back and wither and die. And all these people out here to say, well, I would never take the mark, I would never do this or that. Hey, that's easy to say when you got a full belly. But when you got no power in your house, they're taking your property from you, you can't get medical care, your children are starving, your grandchildren are starving, you can't go nowhere to get food, nobody's going to help you, you can't get on no programs because you don't have the digital ID. Oh, it's going to be a totally different ball game. And Bill Gates said this past week, out of all the satellites that he got up in space and more to come over the next 2 years, between him and Elon Musk, there's no square inch on this earth that you're going to be able to hide that they're not going to be able to find you. I'll stop there.
Mm. That's crazy. So right now you got the current status right now is that you got these governments and these vendors that they've been deploying these pilots and integrations. So a lot of these states then tested the digital ID logins for the DMV benefits portals, and then you have those pilot biometric checks, like the one at the airport where you can skip the line if you go through this line here where they do the rectal scan and all that when you go through it. And they, but they go through the whole thing. They promise it there's going to be like a faster service, more convenience. And that's what appeals to a lot of people because they don't want to stand in line. They want it to be quick.
Convenient.
Right. I was watching a show the other day and they were talking about this digital ID. And the question that one of the guys asked, and I'm going to ask on here, is would you take it? Would you take the chip?
Wow.
And he asked the audience, but then he also asked the people that he was talking to, would you take this chip? If it was whether it was voluntary or involuntary,
Right.
would you take it?
Even if it was mandatory, I would resist.
And a lot of them, the three that was on the panel, they all said no.
Mm-hmm.
And then they asked him, what would you do? And he said, well, I'm just going to be real with you. Would I voluntarily do it? No, I would not voluntarily do it. He said they would really have to make me do it. He said, but that's me. I can't speak for everyone else. But what I will say is if you have a family and you know what this chip is, they've been talking about this for umpteen years. They've been talking about this chip.
They've made movies about it.
For it's been a good 30 years they've been talking about this chip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, from what he was saying was, you're going to have some people that know, okay, this is quote, quote, a mark of the beast. I'm not going to take it, and stay firm with it. He said, then you're going to have some that's gonna just take it. He said, now with the ones that's saying no right now, these are the ones that I'm talking to. If you have a family and you have children, and your children are starving, and you are starving, and you can't pay your bills, and you're gonna have to live in the street, and you can't access nothing.
Yeah, your child is going to die from
You're gonna
starvation.
have, he said,
Mhm.
you're gonna have millions of people
Mm-hmm.
that would have rightfully said no, changed their mind just for that benefit.
Yep. And that's exactly what Papa Penguin just said. You'll resist until social credit scores become a thing when you can't buy your beans and rice without it. Morals become much more flexible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a video that I seen the other day over in China right now dealing with the social credit score, that you have people living in the streets right now, homeless, simply because of the social credit score, not because they lost their jobs, simply over the social credit score, because their score got down so low that they couldn't buy anything, they couldn't drive a car, they couldn't do nothing. There's a, you know what, I think I got a little quick video. It's just kind of like a little, it was a thing I seen on there the other day, and I was like, you know what, let me show
Well,
this.
while you do that real quick, let me go ahead and read out two things real quick. We got two different donations. We got Dark Soul coming in. I very much appreciate you for the 4 months, man. Thank you for making it rain in here, and not only becoming a member, but staying a member, man. And then he also sends in $5 saying, don't forget about the Muslim invasion in our country. 32 sell out there. Yeah, no kidding, bro. I appreciate you. So thank you for, again, making it rain like a motherfucker. Absolutely appreciate you.
Yeah, this is like a dramatization, as you know, based on what's going on in China, but they didn't actually use Chinese. They just used like their format as to how they're doing it. We'll play it right quick.
Entry denied. You have criticized the government.
Sorry, last week you purchased too much meat and now your access to your money has been denied.
You haven't let the government know about this trip, and your access is denied.
You have gone over your carbon credit allowance of food this week and your access to food has been denied. A day in the life of UK school children 2035 with digital ID. You have gone over your electricity allowance this week and your access is denied. You have gone over your weekly travel limit and your access is denied.
Could you imagine that?
Oh, I can. And I'm going to say this. One of the richest men in the world just recently said the digital ID means citizens will be on their best behavior, because your credit score, everything is going to be based upon you coming in compliance with whatever rights you're going to have to give up in order to be under this new way of living. I mean, it's back putting the 1% elite, the kings and queens and the lords that ruled over people back in the ancient times, that when they came to America, they were seeking to get away from that and to have their own freedom. Well, we're going back to that. They're just not calling it a feudal system, but the 1% will be running everything again, and we will be the serfs. We will be the slaves under this new system. And if you don't comply, they will just simply turn off everything that is associated to you until you come into compliance. So when this guy said digital ID means citizens will be on their best behavior, he already knows.
Mm-hmm. Right. So that's basically what it is. It's just a way for compliance, for the most part.
You
Do as
know,
I
of
say,
course,
or else.
it's going to be packaged though, and like how I've been saying, off of just straight, not only convenience off the top, but then it's going to go into where it's going to be forced eventually, you know,
Right.
where you don't have an option. And that's
Right.
and
So
that
that's
that
generally
part
what they
that
do.
part right there is scary.
That's generally what they do. Like they'll bring it out first and make it optional. You
That's
know,
right.
like when
That's
we was
right.
talking about one time up in Wisconsin. Remember they had a factory that was up there, and everybody that worked in that factory got chipped, and they used that to get into other parts of the building, be able to pay for their lunch, all this other stuff. So they will make it voluntary to see how many people would actually do it. You know what I mean? And like you said, they will push the convenience, the how fast you can get stuff done and all that. And a
Yep.
lot of people would do it, even though
Yep.
they know.
Even if it's
Even though they
20%
know.
of a population, that's millions upon millions and tens of millions of people.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Like this ain't no fake out. Everybody knows what this is. Everybody knows what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like a trick that they're gonna put out to you because you already know what it is. But like I said, they're gonna voluntarily put it out there. And you're gonna have people that's gonna do it. And the reason why they're gonna do it is because they're gonna offer you some stuff. Other than the fact that it's convenient and it's fast, but then they're gonna start offering you things to do it, an incentive to do it. People are gonna start doing it. But then once they don't get enough people to comply,
Then it's
then they'll
forced.
make it mandatory.
That's right.
You know, so like the whole social credit score thing, I'm gonna tell you, if that happened, I know I'm gonna be in the street because I don't act right. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't act right. You know what I mean? And my social credit score will be fucked up in a week. Simply because I don't comply. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't do status quo. You know what I mean? I'm a 1%er for a reason. You know what I mean? I can't act right when it comes to
Yeah, I don't conform easily. You
right,
know what
right.
I mean?
Especially
Yeah,
when
that's
you trying
right.
to tell me what I'm gonna do. Like
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
ain't
be a little bit
gotta
of a
do shit.
struggle. Right.
Right. You know what I mean? That's
You're
a
better
difference
off
between
saying
wanting to
you're
do
better
it.
off trying to sell it to me rather than telling me I got to do something. I'm going to do the exact opposite. You know that.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Now, like if it's something that I want to do, then I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't gotta do shit.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean?
That's right.
That's just my mentality. So I
Mm,
know that it ain't gonna work for me. You know what I mean? You give it 1 week, I ain't gonna be able to do a fucking thing. I ain't gonna be able to get a bag of Skittles on credit in a week. Guaranteed.
facts.
You know what I mean? Guaranteed.
Facts.
But I know that there's gonna be a whole lot more people that's gonna be the same way. It's gonna be, you know what I mean, just like you seen the protest on that one video, it's gonna be mass protests over that. Because people just gonna not want to comply to that. You know what I mean? Now, will it eventually happen to where everybody ends up with it? Probably so. But in the meantime, it's not gonna go as easy as they think it's gonna go. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna pay the price on both ends on that. You know what I mean? Because you got to think this isn't one of the situations where you got, you know, the president and the prime ministers and all them. They're not the ones that's really calling the shots on this. These are the ones that's over top of them. These are the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the Schwabs and Soros and Gates and all them. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that's playing the puppet masters.
Oh
on
yeah.
it,
Oh yeah.
you know, and
Stereotypical billionaires doing their
right. These are
billionaire
the
bullshit. Yeah.
right. These are the ones that you don't go after. These are the ones that you don't want to talk to. These are the ones that you're not going to talk to. You know what I mean?
No, they just buy politicians and they let them do
Exactly.
that. Mhm.
Exactly. You let them do that. Let them do the stupid shit, and you just sit in the back and you play it like you've been playing it for all these years. You know, but people need to get into the realization though that this is not just a rumor. This is not just a conspiracy theory anymore. This is fact. This is what's going on, and it's going on in these other countries right now. It just hasn't made it here yet. And probably the only reason why it really hasn't made it here yet full steam is probably because they know what's going to happen. That, you know what I mean? All the hell that is going to cause while they trying to do it. Now, are the actual components here to do it? Absolutely. They got everything here right now in order to do it.
Yeah.
They got everything here to do it. They just haven't implemented it. But you just slowly see it in different spots, just like we just heard about Utah. And then you see like the other little things that's been going on. But if you think about it, you've been doing it the whole time. So right now, for instance, when you go into the store, you can load your credit card up on your phone and you can just walk up and beep and go on about your business. You can take your card with a chip, beep, go on about your business. You've been doing it.
They
A lot of people
programmed
say
us.
right now, I don't carry cash. I don't carry cash. I always use my card. That's what they say now.
Yep. That's a humongous problem.
You're already doing it. They've been training you to do the shit for years. Only difference is that they haven't implanted nothing in you to be able to do it.
The difference of making something voluntary, you know what I mean, and making it convenient. You know,
Right.
it's so convenient. You know, it's so convenient. I don't even have cash on me. Oh, that's phenomenal. So that the
Exactly.
government can just wipe out your digital screen on your, you know, you got your bank account. Boom, all of a sudden it just wiped. You know, they can do anything. They can seize your assets. They can
That's the
seize your
reason.
money. Ownership is definitely is an interesting social dynamic. It's like unfortunately, it's something that just boils down to force. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take this. It's mine now, bitch. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Right. Like I said, they've been slowly training us to do this. They've been doing it. You know what I mean? Just people just never really thought about it in that sense that, oh, is that what they really doing? Fuck yeah, that's what they doing. You know what I mean? Just like they ran the whole thing in COVID when they made everybody stay at the house. I'm like, oh, well, we just give you $600 a month extra on your unemployment. And you just stay in the house, and we just need all the essential people come out and let them keep doing it. But the rest of y'all just sit in the house. You'll be fine. We're gonna give you this extra money. What happened? Everybody stayed in the house. Everybody stayed in the house.
And
then when
everyone
it was time for them to
relied-
come outside, they didn't want to come.
That's
When it was
right.
time for them to go back to work, they didn't want to go to work. Why? Because they got used to being in the house.
Well, the sugar daddy of the government is paying you to sit on your ass. A lot of people take the deal.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what
It
I
was
mean?
a test. That's what that
Yeah.
was. It was a test to see if you can, what is it that you can do to make them comply?
Yeah, how far
And
can
all
I
it was
push
was
it?
giving you a little bit of money. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I was an essential worker. I still had to go to work every day.
Me too.
But I'm sitting there working. I'm looking outside, and it's a ghost town. Ain't nobody outside but us.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But that's all they had to do. Offer you a little something, and you comply. Same thing they're gonna do with this. They're gonna offer you something for doing it, and you're gonna comply. Because you're gonna think, okay, well, I'm getting something here. All I gotta do is this. Don't worry about it. You know, I seen a thing today where Pfizer was talking about putting a pill, like when you go get your prescription, they will put a dummy pill in your prescription.
I
right?
heard that.
And you take it.
It's a sugar pill.
And what it does, it puts a monitor inside your stomach.
What?
So that way they can track to see if you're taking your medicine like you're supposed to be taking it. And if you're not
No
taking it the way
way.
you're supposed to, they will go back and alter your insurance because you're not taking your medicine the way you're supposed to be taking it.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. So
Oh wow.
it's all kind of different stuff that they doing that people know nothing about. You know what I mean? But it's all going to this. It's all going to this. They want to control everything. And the rate is going, they're going to.
Yeah, no kidding. No
You know
kidding.
what I mean? Because you can't keep people together long enough to fight it. People too busy worried about the wrong shit. They want to fight about stupid shit as opposed to something that was important. You know what I mean? Like I seen a thing today where they was all on there talking about Biden and about his pardons not being legit because he used a pen and some other shit. Like okay, so you got the government shut down, you got people not getting assistance, you about to fuck up everybody's insurance, but you worried about a fucking auto pen. Deal with the shit that's important. Why are you worried about this? You know what I mean? Take care of this first. Deal with that shit later. Why are you even dealing with it? Why does it even matter? Deal with what's important. Like y'all worry about the wrong shit. But then you sit back and think, okay, another fucking distraction though. Because they trying to keep you from thinking about what's really going on here. You fucking us over. It's what it is. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, I don't get no benefit out of it, but you got to think it's a trickle down effect to this. It's not just going to affect the people that's on Snap. It's going to affect everyone. You know what I mean? All the way down to the small businesses. Because if they people are holding on to their money a little bit tighter than what they posted, than what they used to been doing. You know what I mean? So a lot of the recreational stuff and going to the the hairdresser and the barbershop and the nails done and all that, all them gonna suffer because you got to clutch on this money a little bit tighter here. You know what I mean? Because ain't nothing getting cheaper these days. Food prices going up, gas prices is going up in some places. You know what I mean? Rent going up. You're losing benefits over here. You're raising shit over here. You know what I mean? It's going to be tight for everybody. You know what I mean? So whether you are on this benefit or not, everybody's going to feel this crunch eventually. It's going to be dealing with just about everybody that's on this planet is going to deal with you one way, shape, form, or fashion. It's going to deal with you. But I think the bottom line is going to be as to, are you prepared for that, though? Now, if you are prepared for that and you have stuff in order, stuff in place, then you will be in the 1% of people that actually listened, was proactive, and actually did the right thing, as opposed to being the 99% that sat back, waited for something to happen, and then decided to run around and threaten and take and pillage and do everything else that you need to do to get what you wanted instead of, actually doing what you're supposed to do in the first place. But I think come Saturday, I bet you by next week, if we bring this back up, you're going to see all kind of little stuff that's going to be going on. You know what I mean? Because people just are they're not going to act right. They're just not. Even though they know it's wrong, they're not going to act right. They're going to do something. And with those stores talking about that they're not going to let people in, they're going to do just online orders only and stuff like that. Probably a good idea. It's probably a good idea, but that ain't going to keep them from, if they really want to get in, they'll get in. What do you think, Aaron?
I agree with you 100%. I mean, those glass doors and windows are too easy to throw a brick through or cinder block through to be able to gain access. And if they're looters, those little doors ain't going to stop them. They'll just bust out the windows and come pouring through. I did hear that they're going to start, if they lock the doors, they are going to station at least one police officer per store that will be inside that can call for additional help in the event that it looks like it needs it. But they're getting things set up, and people better understand they need to be prioritizing their spending right now. But my dad always said, a word to the wise is sufficient. We warn people about preparing, getting ready. I hope people are listening, because things are getting worse. They're not getting better. And when people say, well, things got to eventually give, no, they don't. No, they don't. Prices have gotten higher over the years from me being in grade school up till now. I ain't seen prices go back down to what they were when I was in grade school. Everything has gotten higher. It's become more of a struggle to make it. I mean, if you made $30,000 back when I was a teenager, you were living well. Now $30,000 marks the level of poverty in the United States. So people need to wake up, because right now they should be feeling it within their soul right now that things is getting ready to explode. And like I said earlier, out of chaos comes order. And the powers that be know that, and they're going to make some bad things happen so that they can gain control. And I'll stop there.
Hmm. I agree. Yeah, we had where we sitting at? We had 116. So we're gonna drop it down for the evening. But I want to thank everybody that came out. Uh, don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe. Um, share this video with as many people as you can, because there's a lot of stuff that's on here that people just, I mean, like they need to sit back, they need to pay attention, they need to watch, and be a little bit more proactive as to not only what's going on, but what's going to happen, what's what's to come, because it's coming, whether we want it to or not, it's coming. You know what I mean? And the whole smoke and mirror game and the distractions and all that will mean you got to get from around that and actually pay attention to what's really going on here. But thank you all, like always. Those of you that's not on the Facebook group, go on there because we always posting something on there, always posting information on there. Hit the little QR code at the top there, go on the Diamond Effect store. We got a lot of good stuff on there. You can check on the bottom there where you can get your discount codes and whatever. It's a lot of good stuff on it. If you actually go on and become a member, there's a lot of stuff on there that you won't see on the actual page. But once you become a member, you have access to it. So go on and check it out. But other than that, pay attention, people. Pay attention. See you in 7 days. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to reiterate. You should be seeing right now that things is getting ready to explode. You need to learn to prioritize your spending. You need to learn to live below your means right now. Learn as many skills as you can. Skills equals self-sufficiency. You should have at least 30 days worth of food, water, over-the-counter meds stocked in your home, a minimum of 30 days. And actually, the more the better. So like I said, my dad always said, a word to the wise is sufficient. And you should be building community with people that you'll be able to barter and trade with, or have skills that you can utilize to help you to be able to make it into the future, and be willing to hand those skills down to your children and your grandchildren to be able to give them a leg up, even financially, leaving them something in an estate, real estate, gold, silver, platinum, gold backs, anything of that's easily liquid that could be left to them to give them a leg up on what's coming. Don't think of just yourself here. There's more people involved than just you. And even though some people would say with the food stamp problem, that's a you problem, it's an everybody problem if they go out here and decide to start hurting people and harming people over them not getting something free to eat. So think ahead, use your head, and strategize right now, because it's definitely needed. And I'll stop there.
Yeah, I liked earlier, Aaron, when you said use your head more better than a hat rack.
Right.
Man, I was like, man, that was fantastic. That is great. One thing I wanted to point out was, before we close out here, is I wrote this earlier while I was going to the restroom. I said, best tip I can give anyone at the moment: change out your BS currency and turn it into real money, which is gold and silver, and prep on food and medical supplies. And that's exactly what you guys said. And so I think you guys are getting a common theme on how to best prepare yourself and your family, and also being able to simultaneously secure yourself. So anyways, with that being said, everybody, can't thank everybody enough for being here, hitting the like button on both sides, as well as you guys engaging in the chat. That's the only way that we can do this, is with your guys' support, super chats, donations, live comments, hitting the like button, all of that stuff. It goes a long way. So thank you guys very much for, the guys on the panel. You guys bring a huge level of expertise to these conversations. And I really do really enjoy like sitting back and taking it all in, because this is something, I mean, I talk every day on the internet, right? And so being able to sit back and be a part of these conversations that are on this next level thinking is an honor. So anyways, thank you all for participating. We'll see you guys here in 7 days. Much love, honor, and respect to everybody, and God bless.